Hello everyone, my name is Hippolyte Bernard. I'm a French VGC player and I've been playing since 2016. I won Cologne Regional back in 2019 and ended ninth at London 2022 Worlds. Today's video will be an introduction to what Pokémon Scarlet Violet format could look like in 2023. I've already played few games of Pokémon Showdown, so I know a lot about the Pokémon you should definitely watch for in the next season. Also, please note that official rules haven't been announced yet, so even if the format I played on Showdown isn't exactly what VGC will look like, this introduction shall help any newcomer to apprehend new ways of playing. End of the disclaimer, let's start by a quick recap about the main new mechanic, Terastal. If you haven't watched any trailer yet, you might not know what is Terastal. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a quick recap of what is Terastal before explaining its impact in the new metagame. Terastal changes type of a Pokémon as a unique type until it faints. If the Terastal type is one of the Pokémon types, then the stat multiplier increases from 0.5 to 2. If the Terastal type is not one of the Pokémon's type, then the Pokémon earns a 1.5 multiplier for this type's moves. This example explains clearly how it works. The Terastal type of a Pokémon is set during the table build, which means you won't be able to change it during a whole tournament. Note that so far, every Pokémon can use Terastal in any type they want. You don't need any item to use Terastal, and it remains after the Pokémon switches out. There also exist moves named Terra Blast, an offensive move whose type changed according to Terastal. Congratulations, you know everything about Terastal. However, if you have any question, feel free to ask in the comment section. I'll answer you. Now, let's study what are the different ways to use your Terastal during a Pokémon battle. First one is obviously defensive way. The objective of a defensive Terastal for a Pokémon is to cover a maximum of options with both of its typing, before and after Terastal. For example, we have Among Us, which is Grass Poison type. It's weak to fire Pokémon like Torkoal. A good way to deal with Torkoal now is using the Terastal to become fire-typed itself and then resisting to Torkoal fire-type moves. A good defensive Terastal can completely change the outcome of a game. Second one is the offensive way. This time, you want to clean your opponent board with multiple target moves, such as Garchomp and its strong Earthquake. It can also work on Dragonite and Terra Normal to boost extreme speed priority. It's not easy to identify the right moment for an offensive Terastal. You need to think about your opponent's last Pokémon before taking such a big decision. Last thing about Terastal is that you can get the secondary effect of the type you use. If you use a Grass type Terastal, then your Pokémon will be immune to Powder moves. If you use a Dark type Terastal, then you'll be immune to Prankster status moves. Those options are really common on support Pokémon. Terastal encourages creativity from player, and your job is to find the combinations of 6 Terra types which will make you win the most. This is a brand new team building mechanic, and I think it will be interesting to see its usage in the format. Let's now talk about new Pokémon. As usual, new games mean new Pokémon, and a bunch of them will be really strong. This is the case of Paradox Pokémon. They are Pokémon that comes from the past or the future depending on your version, and they look similar to Pokémon we knew in the present, but their tapping and stats slightly change. Fluttermane and Iron Boulder are the best Paradox Pokémon in my opinion. They both have high speed and good special stats. Those two Pokémon basically dictate the speed tiers of the current metagame. They are so fast that you often give up the idea of outspeeding them. You want to survive their hits and cow them in returns thanks to their low defensive stats. Paradox Pokémon abilities boost their stats when it's activated, which increases even more their power. On another side, we know how to deal with the RUINOUS Pokémon. Those Pokémon have unique abilities which drop a stat of every Pokémon on the field. Also, it's acting like an aura, it's not like stat drop, so beware of this. There are 4 Pokémon and their ability all drop a different stat. Attack, defense, special attack, or special defense. Dropping defenses allow adjacent Pokémon to pick up KO really easily, so be aware of those Pokémon you might face them very often in 2023. I will talk about the few other Pokémon in the video. Now, let's focus on the new items. There are a bunch of new items in Scarlet and Violet, but I want to focus on 3 of them in this video as I think they will be very popular in 2023. First one is the Clear Amulet. It basically prevents stats drop for the holder. This is really good for Pokémon that deals a lot of damage and don't want to be disrupted by Intimidate, Parting Shot or Icy Wind. It combines very well with an offensive Terastal or Pokémon that use setup proof like Swords Dance, since the boost will never go away. Second item of the list, the Covered Cloak. It removes every secondary effect of offensive moves received by the holder. It means Fake Out cannot flinch, Snarl does not drop your special attack, and Bulldoze won't drop your speed. It also works from allied moves. This item is very strong for support Pokémon that are not Ghost type, since they won't be blocked by Fake Out. Last item I want to talk about is the Energy Booster. It only works with Paradox Pokémon as it activates their ability. This is really good for offensive Pokémon, since you are able to boost your damage or your speed and have more pressure on the field. This item is really strong, but its claws force you to carefully choose the Pokémon you want to boost in your team. We've talked about the mechanics, new Pokémon and new items. I'm gonna now show you a few combos or sets that will be really good in 2023. First one is Dragonite plus Shampoo. It works with Shampoo ability that drops defense of all Pokémon on the field, except itself. You want to abuse of this with Choice Band Dragonite and Extreme Speed, which will be boosted by a normal Terastal. The damage are insane. You can pick up KO on a lot of Pokémon that does not resist normal type moves. Dragonite is using Inner Focus ability, so Intimidate doesn't not work on it. Also, if you think you can survive, then remember about Shampoo, that also have good stabs, plus a fight coverage with Sacred Sword. This combo is really scary because it uses a lot of priority move and you often don't have time to decrease the damage. I myself play a lot of Ghost Terastal on few Pokémon on my team to avoid destruction from this dragon, and I think Quick Guard will be really popular to stop this combo. Second combo is Fluttermane plus Shield. Once again, we use an ability of a RUINOUS Pokémon. To abuse this drop, we have Fluttermane, which can use Fairy Terastal to deal even more damage with Dazzling. Shield have Heat Wave, which will add even more damage to pick up the KO on opposing boards. I think Wild Guard will be really popular since it can stop a lot of moves from this combo. Also, expect Trick Room being used very often against it. Last combo you should expect is Dondozo plus Tatsugiri. It uses the unique commander ability. Tatsugiri is swallowed by Dondozo, which resets 2 boosts in each stat, except accuracy and evasion. Dondozo has access to a unique move, Order Up, which boosts one of its stats depending on the color of Tatsugiri. We often choose the orange Tatsugiri since Order Up will boost the attack stat. The counterpart of this combo is that you're forced to play a 1v2 since Tatsugiri can't move or switch out while Dondozo is not, doesn't leave the field. And Dondozo can't switch out neither. You have to set up the combo at the right time when you're sure that you'll be able to clean the board. I expect to see a lot of Haze or Clear Smoke to avoid a late game Dondozo sweep. After introducing 3 combos, let me introduce you 3 cool sets that will be really popular. To affect me later not being caught off guard during the later session. The first Pokemon I want to talk about is Roaring Moon. It uses booster energy to increase its attack stat and to double acrobatics damage. With a flying Terastal, the damage output is insane for a single Pokemon, so be prepared if you see something that looks like Salamence Mega at Team Preview. The second cool set of this list is Several Edge. Originally Ghost Fire type, we used a Grass Terastal to ignore Spore and Rage Quarter and to survive Ground type moves. Flash Fires removes the new Fire weakness, which means it's only weak to Bug and Flying moves. Bulk Up and Clear Amulet allow a long-term setup, and it's even able to regenerate HP with Bitter Blade. Trust me, it's very frustrating to face this Pokemon, so watch out if you face it at Team Preview. The last Pokemon I want to present is Garganacl. This Pokemon has a very unique signature ability, Purifying Salt. This Pokemon cannot be statused and receive half damage from ghost moves. Using the Iron Defense Body Press combo that became pretty popular on Sword and Shield format, it also learns Salt Cure, a move you won't use for its base power but for its secondary effect. Opponents take damage at the end of each turn until they switch out. These damage are even double on Water type and Steel type Pokemon. On the top of that, it can use Grass Terastal depending on the matchup that the Pokemon has to deal with. This Pokemon can be really annoying, so always include tech in your team to deal with it. Well, that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video and that it was useful for you. If so, don't hesitate to drop a like and share it around you. That would be really appreciated. Also feel free to leave a comment, I read them all. That's it, thank you for watching.